it's not too late. Too late for what? It's too late when you're dead. But if you're still alive and you're breathing,
yeah,
you just need to do it.
Just do it. Just do it, because we fall into these roles, these expectations, and that's what we tell them. Take off all the hats. We don't want you coming in here with a title. Nothing. Just you. What do you want? Who do you want to be?
What's good, familia? Welcome to Hella Latina podcast, where I hand the mic back to people, the first gens, the immigrants, the Latinos, the brown people, because if we don't tell our story, who will? Wait, I love this is your first in-person podcast?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that just made my whole day.
Oh.
Can I tell you, I'm like fangirling over you two because
oh my God, so cute.
because one, travel is my love language. So being able to just like kiki with y'all and talk about travel, yes, that's all I want to do. Two, I'm going to Morocco with you guys.
Right.
We are super excited.
And you know what's crazy is I told Jasmine Ruiz, which is how I met.
Yes.
Shout out. I told her, girl, I really want to go to Morocco. I saw she was there.
Yes.
And then I was like, let me know how it is. I want to do a solo trip. She's like, girl, do not come here by yourself.
Girl, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
She's like, please do not come here by yourself. And I was like, well, I really want to go. And then she went to Peru with you guys.
Yes.
And then she told me you need to meet these ladies. And you had a Morocco trip. So
Yes. And that's one of our signature trips.
no way.
We love
Yes,
Morocco.
Morocco is just such a beautiful experience. You're going to absolutely fall in love.
I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Morocco is such a beautiful, it's one of my favorite cities. People always ask me, you've been to so many places, Sandy. Which one is your favorite country?
Yeah.
And the first one that just flourishes is Morocco. It's very similar to our culture. It's very similar, the people, the food, their environment, just everything. I just love it. They're just so passionate. They're like the darker skinned Italians.
It's like it's familiar and then it's not. Because
Yes.
you're walking through souks and you're like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
But then the foods, the flavors, you know,
Very
and then they hear
similar.
the music and you're like, okay, I want to start dancing.
Yeah.
Like, it just, yeah.
You're going to have a blast. We're going to have a blast.
I feel funny saying this because, you know, everyone does 23andMe and Ancestry, but I do have like 3% Moroccan.
well, right there,
Okay, well, that's music to her ears because she loves genealogy and,
Oh
yeah.
I love
yeah.
it.
25 years.
And then
of
I was
finding
like,
families.
I'm pretty sure that's from my mom's side because my dad he is proud of being indigenous. He's like, oh, 100% catracho. He like loves to say it. My mom is like mestiza. She has everything. And you
Yeah.
can see it in her hair texture and her skin color.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's probably on your side.
Well, I think you're going to feel right at home when you get
yeah.
there.
I know. I'm excited for it. Well, welcome to Hella Latino.
Thank you.
Hella Latina. I'm excited to have you too because Tiffany, as she was saying before, you don't see a lot of Latinas doing what
Yeah.
you do. So
Thank you.
give the crowd a little synopsis on who you are and what you do.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm Sandy Correa. I am born and raised in Los Angeles. I am a first gen Latina. Mother's from El Salvador. Dad's from Puerto Rico. First, and I was just listening to your podcast about the comedian that was here with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm the first to do everything. First
Yeah.
one to get a college degree, a master's degree, first of everything. And of course, the standards. You said the standards kind of high, but I had to say I'm still the winner. I'm the only one who's done all those things in my family, so I am the trophy of my family.
She said
but
like golden child.
I am the golden child, and my career itself was in hospital administration. So I served about 25 years as a hospital administrator in different hospitals. I spent the last 17 years at a level 3 trauma center in Los Angeles, and that's where I met Anna.
Wow.
And that's how the story began.
And that's how the story began.
So my name is Ana Gaona. I am also first gen. And my background is my mother is from Córdoba, Spain, and my father's from Oaxaca, Mexico. So I always, you know, like I mentioned before, it's a little bit of a different mix, you know, but I'm very proud to be first gen from both ends. I can live in all spaces, including the Spanglish world, and we do it all day long. But very proud to be the first gen for my family. I am the first to do a lot of many things, such as, you know, our academics. Got my master's. I did a little bit of the scenic route. I always like to tell people because I went to school after I got married, after I had my children. So what I always like to do is share with people of it's never too late.
Yeah.
And so I have 3 children. I'm a grandmother of 2. I've been married for 30
abuela.
plus years. Yes, I'm an
She's
abuela.
my mom too.
I'm an abuela. Been married for 36 years, something like that. And I'm very fortunate because I was able to still finish academics, finish a career. I too retired after 26 years. And when we met at the hospital, you know, things happen for a reason. We never know why. You know, I never imagined myself being a hospital administrator, ever. And when I was called, I was told, you know, you're going to do the Department of Medicine. Yes, I'm going to go there.
You're going to tell the story?
I'm going to tell the story.
Oh, I'm ready.
So I get invited to an interview and they tell me, come see this hospital, bring some flats. Okay.
Not bring flats.
So immediately I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what this is about. So we did. I went and toured this place, and the person interviewed me was introducing me already as the medicine administrator. And I'm like, I have no idea. I've never been here. I've never done a hospital. The thing was that right before that happened, my father, I was his advocate. I was his healthcare consultant, advocate, you name it. He passed away from pancreatic cancer. So I had to learn, you know, everything about hospitals real quick. And then comes this opportunity to interview. So I go to the interview and I'm kind of just freaking out. And I think, well, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. And then I meet Sandy. And they tell me, you need to be.
It was her face for me.
Yeah, can you see that? Yeah, then I met Sandy. They're like, you need to meet the person that's right now filling in. And, you know, she says to me, she's like, so you don't have hospital administration experience? I said, no, I don't. I said, but I'm a fast learner. She goes, well, do you have terminology? No, she goes, well, you're going to have to go back to school. And I thought to myself.
Did I say school or did I say buy a book?
No, well.
I think I said you need to buy a medical terminology book.
I could have.
Long story short. For dummies, please.
Pretty much. Long story short, I took the job. I went in. She's the one that trained me. And we became inseparables because in a level 1 trauma center, what can go wrong? Just about everything. And so here we are. And then we'll tell you the story about how the business came to be, but this is how it started.
Did I say level 3 trauma earlier?
Yes, you did. It's level 1, girl.
Sorry.
It's level 1.
Yeah.
Don't.
It's been a while. Go ahead.
Cut that. I'm kidding.
So.
Wow. So she almost was like your hater, and
Pretty
then became
much.
your
and then she's
and then became your bestie.
My bestie, and then my travel bestie.
But you know what? If you ask my best friends, none of our stories started with like love. Like my best friends from my childhood, we all thought we were like mean. Like, oh, she was kind of like
really
bitch. Like, yeah, like it was like that kind of energy, but then it's like, oh my God, I love you.
I trained her for like a year, but it wasn't even training anymore. It was like, you want to go to lunch? Let's go here. Let's go there. Because the hospital is in my neighborhood where I was raised.
Wow.
And so I was like, let's go to the Piñata restaurant. And let's go.
We had names for these restaurants.
Let's go to the Mercadito. And let's go have tacos here. Like, I took her everywhere. So she was like.
So this was in your hood, but you weren't, this wasn't your neighborhood.
No. I was raised in San Fernando Valley. So that's all you know. So I used to commute.
Wow, so you expanded her worlds, and then you both expanded each other's worlds. This all is tying together.
Yeah.
Because you went from trauma to travel.
That's right.
Exactly it. Trauma to travel.
Trauma to travel.
Yes.
When did this happen? Like, when were you like, let's start Two Peacocks Travel? Like, what's the love story there?
So part of the training when you are an administrator, you have to deal with difficult patients. Patients that are threatening the nurses, have hit the nurses, are threatening not to leave. There's just a bunch of things. So, and we had a patient who, I had one that was trying to bring his chicken to the dental clinic and was telling them that there was his emotional support animal. And I was like, absolutely not. You cannot bring a chicken. This is ridiculous. And oh my God, I'm just listening to all these stories. Then we had a woman who brought in two little dogs. And she put them through the x-ray machine. Okay. So we walk into the room and she had a little pee pad and she had little drinks. And I was like, what the hell are these dogs doing here? The doctor said it was okay. I'm like, the doctor's not the boss. So we went out. We're like, these dogs got to go. You know, it's a issue. Not that the dogs were anything wrong with them, but it's a hospital. So anyways, as the time went by, Anna comes up to me. She's like, dude, I read an article about a woman who was trying to take her peacock on the airplane, saying that it was her emotional support animal. And we were laughing. And then it was a joke. I was like, well, then you're my peacock because you're my emotional support buddy at work. Well, then you're my peacock, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wait, that's so
So
cute.
as we, I left work in 2020. Anna left 2021. 2022. And so when we took our first trip and we realized there was a high demand for travel for women, we went to this event and I said, well, Anna, what are we going to call it? And then she said, well, what else? Two Peacocks Travel. And that's how I was
And
born.
there we were born.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Emotional support.
Emotional support.
And if you look at the logo, the two peacocks are wearing high heels because we always wore high
we
heels
were
at
always
work.
in high heels, always in our
And-
lipstick.
Yeah, very
And our
Latina.
cafecito.
very
So Latina.
with our little you
The
know,
jewelry
little
too, all of it.
carterita with my my glasses, her glasses, very, and it portrays who we were at the time. Of course, we still love to get dressed up, but in that time in our lives, we were to the T. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
we were like little fashion.
We were in suits from head to toe, 14 hours a day, lipstick, makeup, the whole 9 yards.
In the trauma.
Yes,
Entire
Wow.
time. We would walk that hospital
it was like 14,000 steps a day.
easily in
Oh my
heels.
God, are your toes okay?
They survived. Well, that's another story. But
Just another podcast. We'll get there.
yeah.
Wow.
The menopause podcast.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on that for like just a bit, because I think that Latinas often, we don't get to have these opportunities a lot. And like I look at myself in comparison to my family, like being first gen, being able to see the world, being able to travel. I'm like, this is such a luxury, and so many of our people can't even leave like the state.
True.
That's right.
And so being able to travel and being able to have these opportunities, I'm curious from your perspective, being in your 40s and being able to do this and give the opportunity to other Latinas, how do you make sense of your identity? How do you make sense of Latinidad being at your age? And how do you just make sense of it?
So can I just...
Yeah, go correct her.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you for saying in our 40s.
Oh, you're not.
We're in our 50s.
Mid-50s.
Mid-50s to be
50s.
exact. So we're
Early
like, oh,
40s.
thank you. We look good. Okay, perfect.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
you definitely look like I don't even know how people look these days. And I'm like, I definitely thought 40s.
No, we're mid-50s.
But thank
So
you.
you're
Thank you.
mid-50s.
Mid-50s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is different for
Yeah.
us to be able to have this experience and to look back of where we came from,
Yeah.
where we are now. I mean, in the different aspects of our lives, right? We're two individuals, two very determined women that know how to connect, communicate. I mean, we can look at each other and know exactly what we're thinking. It is the oddest thing, but we can do it. But when we turn back to look at our families, this is why we take, when we can, we travel with our moms. I travel with my kids. I travel with my husband, because I want to be able to bring that to them, because we are the first ones to be doing it in our families.
Yeah.
I never imagined in a million years that I'd be in Machu Picchu and having the group sing happy birthday to me. Who gets to say that? I don't know anybody else. Or now that we're planning for this Camino de Santiago trip, never in a million years did I think that, well, first of all, we'll get there too, of how we were going to come up with this trip. But it's 78 miles. And so people
Walking.
are, walking.
Are y'all gonna be in your heels?
Well, not in heels, not in heels.
I mean, it
but
would be preferable if we did, but no.
so it's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
But it also comes with challenges.
Yeah.
And, but we're so used to that, after working in a level 1 hospital, like, okay, bring it. What else can happen?
But I think that our Latinidad, I feel like we're reinventing it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Because I remember we were in Spain, and part of our program, part of our travel, we also take in the summer times young travelers to Spain. So I was waiting for the chicken man to be ready with the chickens, and I was sitting there, and this man sitting next to me.
In this podcast
Yes,
episode.
yes. And the man sitting next to me, and I was looking at this lady, and she was older. Well, she looked older. I don't know. She might be 50 for all I know. But, some people just age differently. And she was dealing with a lot of little grandkids. And she looked tired. And she looked like she's had a rough life. And so the man next to me, he said, oh, do you have children? ¿Tú tienes hijos? I said, sí, tengo un hijo de 20 años. Ah, ¿ya eres abuela? I'm like, no. He's like, ¿estás emocionada to become a grandmother? I said, no. And he's like, no. I said, no. He says, no, porque puedas cuidar a tus nietos. Ama, yo no voy a cuidar nietos. Yo no soy esa generación. I am not the generation who's looking forward to stay home to re-raise another child. I'm sorry, but it was hard enough raising one child. And I feel blessed that I had help with my mom, and that my son's now a grown man. Now it's my time. It's my time to do the things that I couldn't do because I was working, because I was raising a child.
Yeah.
And so we are basically telling women it's okay to want things for yourself. You don't have to feel guilty that you want to go somewhere, but the rest of your family doesn't want to go. We have people who say, well, my husband doesn't like to travel. Okay, then tell him that you're going to call Uber Eats every day so he can be fed, and you'll see, he'll, know about your African safari trip with us. And so, like, it's okay. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to be a little selfish for 7 days out of the year to do what you want to do. And we have women who are like, oh, no, my family only goes to Hawaii every year, so I go to Hawaii. Now, what do you want to do? And there's this guilt as Latina women of doing things you want to do for yourself.
Oh, it's show up for everybody else and then yourself last.
And
Everyone eats first.
So that's when I tell people that I'm a grandmother, they're like, you're a grandmother? I'm like, yeah. I do enjoy having them. I do enjoy picking them up from school.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that that's it, that's the end of it, right? So, no, I'm not the same grandmother that will, like my mom. My mom would always have, dinner and everything ready for my kids, right? So I do the best what I think is for who I am. But it's always, what do I want to do without having the guilt? The guilt is the hardest part as a woman from all stages of life. From when you're growing up, going through different stages of life in terms of, you're 15, you're 20, you're 25. It changes. And so I think now we are really redefining what that role looks like. Like I said, I love my grandkids. I love to be able, but more importantly, you know what I want? I want to put them on a plane and have them travel. I want to see them with their little carry-on and through the airport. I want this to be part of their life. It wasn't part of my life. We would go once a year to visit, my family in Spain, but it wasn't on a regular basis. It was always like really nerve-wracking. I don't know what I'm going to do. I want this to be part of the norm.
I love that because traveling has literally changed my life. And I'm sure we can all bond on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think every person should travel outside of the country, outside of like a country that they're maybe familiar with.
Yes.
Like a different culture. Like everyone needs to experience it because you learn so much about yourself.
A lot.
But the one thing I learned to do, the skill that I mastered was self-trust.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you alone
Trust
out
yourself.
there.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I really have to just trust myself and protect myself. But there's like and I think Latinas, at least like me growing up, there was always, I grew up around a lot of brothers. And so it was always like, ay, cuida la niña, cuida la niña, cuida la niña. And so I always felt very protected. Like I didn't got to make any decisions myself.
Right,
like they made all the decisions for me. They took care of everything. And the first international trip I took was China.
Wow.
And I went to China.
That's a biggie.
It's a long story why I went there, but not even worth going into. But I went out there and I spent a lot of time alone. And I got robbed without even knowing. It wasn't even like a robbing like how you would envision it in like the Bronx. But like it was like a... shout out. But it was also, it was like a weird robbing because I didn't know the language.
Yeah.
And then the taxi driver asked for money. And then I'm like, I don't know how to do yen here. And then I give it to him. And then he takes all of it. And then I'm like, oh no, I'm pretty sure you owe me something. And then he was like,
no, that's it.
Understand.
It was a smooth steal. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. Okay, well, I guess I need to figure out how to get home.
Wow.
Because all my money was gone.
Yeah.
And it took a whole day to get back home. And I had to like figure out the trains. China is a great place to do it because you're really safe. At least where I was, but you have to learn self-trust.
You know what? And that's one of the biggest things, when we did the first trip before even starting the business, we took our kids overseas and it was right after COVID. And we knew that the social impact, if it was big on us, imagine on the kids.
Yeah.
So we took our kids out there and my daughter specifically, she knew Spanish but wasn't very fluent. And she's like, how are we going to Spain? Who's going to help us? I'm like, I speak Spanish, like you're going to be fine. But we were able to put them in a classroom setting where they got some kind of direction, a little bit of history, they learned food.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, okay, more kids need this. And Sandy's a testament. She was a student traveler at 15. She went with no language, no technology. Okay, she didn't even bother, she'll tell you that story. But the whole point was that you learned your self-trust. And when we, did some later travels, we went to Italy, and I remember telling my husband, okay, I'm leaving first, and my daughter, our daughter's going to follow later. You're leaving her by yourself? Like, she's just going to travel by herself? I'm like, yeah, she's going to be fine. She went to Italy not knowing the language. She made it. LA to Rome to Florence. She was good, took the train, figured it out. But guess what? That was the whole point to this. It's to teach them to self-trust. So when you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it.
All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick break because support your girl if you want to keep listening to these conversations. I have shirts, Hella Latina, Hella Brown hats, Hella Brown anything that you want, and also have Hella Brown, Hella Worthy candles. 50% of the proceeds go to Chirla, an immigration rights organization. But it's also like it expands. Like you think as first-gen Latinas, and maybe just Latinas in general, there's a cultural like expectation, right? You do this, you do that, and then being in this society, you do this, you do that. You go somewhere else in the world and you see life so differently.
Oh,
because they experience life so differently, and you're like, oh, I can do that, or I could do this, or I don't have to do that.
You don't
or,
have
oh my
to.
God, teach me how to do this. Like
exactly.
There's so much expansion and learning and spirituality and philosophy. Like you just learn so much.
Just the basic work-life balance that they have. Like you
we
come
don't
back.
have that definition here.
So you come back and you're kind of like, what are we doing here? We're just killing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we're not
you
living.
work to live.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, the whole thing about trusting, one of the things that works out in our partnership with this travel company is that Anna will go along with pretty much about 98% of the things.
Yeah,
like if I told her we're going to go to Mount Everest, she's like, no. You know, things that require height, like because she's afraid of heights, maybe, but you know, it depends. But like we were in Italy and I said, Anna, I think we should go to Croatia. We're already here. This is how it all starts.
This is how it all starts.
We're already here. She's like, well, how the hell are we going to get to Croatia?
Is it your first trip or no?
No,
This is
no.
just a trip. Okay.
She said, I said, we're going to rent a car and we're going to drive to Croatia. She's like, oh my God, I don't even want to ask. Just let's go. So we rented a car. We ended up in a Holocaust museum in the border of Slovenia. In Italy. We had breakfast in Italy, lunch in Slovenia, and dinner in Croatia.
Stop.
Girl. And on the way back, and then she's like, so how are we going to get back? Like they closed the car place. I was like, Anna, we'll deal with that when we get back. Right now, we're just going to go enjoy. And we did. We enjoyed it. It rained. So many things happened in this trip. We met some guy who was from San Francisco
Roblox.
Yeah, he was
like a manager.
But the people that he was our 700 follower. Like all these
I
great
love because you meet so many people.
Oh yeah.
You really just got to like talk to people and like figure it out. Like it's my favorite part because I think society is becoming so individualistic here.
Yeah.
And you realize so much of the world is a collective. And you really have to not just trust yourself, but like lean on someone else. Like,
exactly.
Hey, do you know how many people in their broken English taught me how to like read the train signs? I'm like,
I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna jump on this. I got home like sweaty and I saw a liquor store. I was like, let me just buy like a little bottle of like wine and then go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Like it was just, you have to trust people.
But
too,
you learn.
talk.
Yes, absolutely. Because there are people.
Know, just to give like Latininas some love and some first generation some love, resourcefulness and creativity is what we know.
That runs through our blood.
And you know, it's the self-trust, but also knowing like, damn, I did that.
Absolutely.
Because I got it innately. Because I learned this. We've learned
our parents
our
parents are not trying to rescue us.
You know?
My mom was like, no tienes miedo? I was like, no. Were you afraid to leave your country and come here? No. So I'm not afraid either.
We have to give them credit for doing that, because I think about my mom. Like, what were you thinking when you left Spain? You left to the other side of the world with no language and nobody here.
And
she came young
and built a life.
So shout out to my mom, because sometimes I think I don't always acknowledge that, because right now I'm traveling doing all kinds of things, and she goes, ¿No te da miedo? And I'm like, ¿Y a ti no te dio miedo venir? She's like, well, yeah, I guess, but you're going all over the place. I go, but that was the point. You came here and now we're expanding, and I want my next generation to go even further than that.
I want to talk about the beginnings of Two Peacocks Travel, what it's evolved into. And I want to give you a quick story of how I fell in love with travel and how I've always known this is going to be my path. I literally was just telling Jackie this story, the girl that you met out there. I was how old? Maybe 2021. I got my first and only credit card ever. And at this time, Chase was like, oh, we have a new travel credit card called the Sapphire Reserve.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And they're like, it has all these travel benefits. And I'm like, I ain't traveling anywhere, but it sounds cool and it's a really heavy card. It looks cute.
Right?
I'll take
exactly.
it. I took it because of that reason, but I've always known like I want to travel at some point. It just wasn't happening at 21. And so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So I got the credit card and then, go on my way. And then the China opportunity comes up. And that was my first travel. And I go to China and I, have my little credit card.
Swipe.
TSA pre for the first. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool. I'm traveling for the first time ever and to an international place. And then Spain happens. And then Germany happens. And then I plateaued because I got into a relationship with someone who didn't like to travel.
Oh.
And speaking of the self-sacrifice, and he was also, not to put his business out there, but he was going through it financially. We were young, we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my travel love to the side because I'm like, oh, we got to be adults and work. And he doesn't have it right now, but in the future we will, in the future we will, in the future we will. And I prayed for those 2 years. I'm like, God, I really want to travel. It was midst of COVID too. So I was like, putting a lot of excuses, oh, it's just COVID. Oh, it's just, he doesn't have it right now. Oh, it's just, it'll happen when I'm older. And I remember praying like, God, please, just open up the doors. I would love, put this out there, I would love an opportunity to travel for work. I want a job that gives me the opportunity to travel. Now, at my age, nobody was having that. I didn't see anybody have it. So it's just me and my dreams. And then literally prayed for the change. Within 2 weeks, I got laid off from the job that I was at.
Oh.
I broke up with my ex. And my apartment, the lease was ending. So all that happened within 2 weeks. And then I was applying and I had a job opportunity come through. And then I started at this job. And I literally have traveled all around the world with this job.
Oh my God. Talk about manifesting.
Big time.
It's like you close one door
Oh, yeah.
and multiple doors open. And I've been able to travel to Indonesia, to China again, to Brazil, to Mexico, to so many places. And that's where I'm like, oh, this is what I'm meant to do. And then when I found y'all, I'm like, there's so many Latinas that I know that want to travel. And actually, my friend Alejandra is coming on the
yes.
Because I told her about it. She's like, oh, done. I've been looking for an organization like this.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
So please tell me, what was a trip that was like, oh, we're onto something with Two Peacocks Travel? What was a trip that made you guys like, this is it?
So it was our trip to Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
We took 15 women to Cuba. When we first started, we're like, okay, let's do a trip where...
Was this your first trip?
Our first trip. Now, I had been to Cuba before. I was married to a Cuban, and so I had been to Cuba before. So I was like, Anna, it's close by.
Yeah.
It's very affordable. Let's put it together. Anna hadn't been there, but she's like, girl, I trust you. 15 women signed up. Wow. And it was one of those trips that, we learned a lot of things. A lot of the women who had gone to this trip were our friends and our family. So they were excited. And we're quick learners. We learned a lot of things quickly, and we're like, okay, this is not going to happen again. This is not going to happen again. We're going to do this. We're going to do this.
What were some things that you're like, never again?
15 women is too many.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the start.
I was thinking that. I was like, 15 women is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of women with a lot of different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to keep it 10 and 12 is pretty much the magic number, because then it turns a little bit cliquish. And then, when it's small, everyone's still... talking to each other, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But 15 was a lot. But that was the trip when Anna and I realized we're onto something. Cuba is a place. Have you ever been to Cuba?
Mm-mm.
So Cuba is one of those places that is heartbreaking, yet at the same time is a beautiful place to go.
That's actually why I don't want to go. I don't know if I'll be able to handle it.
You will.
You will, because you have the opportunity to give, and that's the best feeling. And the conversations, because it's not just giving material, it's giving your time to talk to people and let someone listen to them. That's the biggest joy. I love going there. Now, when we talked about
I'll sign up for Cuba too. Fine, you got me.
You got me there. So when we did the 15 women, as Sandy said, it does logistically, right? Because we come from this background. We said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to implement the nurse to patient ratio, just like we used to do in the hospital. So that's what we said. We're like, okay, this is a 5-to-1. So we know 10, we got 5 and 5. And we can handle, any last minute requests, any changes, any delays. We can take care of it. But really, when we initially started to think about what we were going to do, it was going to be a program just for students, because we had just come back with our kids.
Oh, yeah.
But then our friends started saying, well, wait a minute, we want to travel too. We have no one to travel with. My spouse doesn't want to travel. And so this is when the story comes in about Cuba. She's like, you know what, Cuba's easy. And I'm thinking, how are we going to get to Cuba? Because I am asking the questions. Mm-hmm. She's like, and I promise you, I'm like, okay, you have to have some level of trust. And obviously there is trust between both of us. Because
in each other, you have
yeah,
to have a lot of trust.
Because I would look at her like, okay, how are we going to Cuba? Like, how? Because it's a very specific destination.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was one of the best opportunities to be able to go out there and live it. Not que te lo cuenten, but to actually be there. And yes, physically we give stuff. Everybody, the beautiful thing is when we set this trip up, everybody's like, okay, what do we take? Everybody was so open-hearted that everybody had the big check-in bag, the 50 pound. Everybody had something to drop off. Everybody left 50 pounds of
This
stuff.
reminds me of like every Latino family.
Yeah.
Like when I went to Honduras, the requests that came in, one of my bags was all filled with like queso and mantequilla.
Makeup.
And chips
Makeup.
and traiga los zambos, porfis. Los
Yeah.
zambos.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had like a little like tienda
Yeah.
in my bag.
Yeah.
That's
We
so
take
cute.
clothes, we take school supplies,
Medicine.
To give to them.
medicine.
To them.
Do you do that with every trip?
Every
No,
trip.
no,
No.
just to Cuba.
Cuba.
Just to Cuba.
Just to Cuba, yes.
Love that.
Because we want to not just use their resources. We want to
Yeah.
take back. So, for example, baby Tylenol, Excedrin migraine medicine, just regular Advil, tampons, things that they just you.
I love it.
Every country that Anna and I go to, we always say, "Oh, I forgot it. Oh, then we'll just get it there." Not in Cuba.
No,
If
no.
you forgot it, girl, you forgot
You're
it.
done.
Yeah.
There's no Target. There's no CVS. There's no concept like that.
You forgot
You forgot it. You forgot it. No.
Te
well,
aguantas.
I didn't bring a sweater, so I'll just buy one over there. No, you're not, girl. There's no sweaters to be buying over there. There's no department stores. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're going there. You're enjoying this beautiful country that is stuck in time. But you leave something. You leave something for the women, for the children, for the men who are working. So that is a way to just not just go there and, everyone knows you're American. They can tell the way you dress, the way you carry yourself. But at least they know, oh, esos son los americanos que vienen a dejar cosas.
I love that.
We want to give back. Absolutely.
So what about that trip was like, oh, we're on to something? Was there a specific moment? Was there a story? Was
When's
there
the
a
next trip,
takeaway?
they asked.
When's the next trip?
We think that the next trip, one of them said, should be to Morocco.
Wait, did it happen? Was the
Not
next trip
that
Morocco?
year, but this following year. And yes,
Wow.
the next year. So that year, how many trips did we have that year?
We went to Italy.
We went to Italy.
How do you select your destinations?
Hand
How do
that
you-
to me.
She just comes up with it.
She's like
So-
spinning the globe.
She's like, I want to go here. And then it just depends. Like, or some people will tell us, hey, have you thought about doing, and we're so open to any of them, not except for, let me just rephrase that. It's, okay, what does that entail? Because if I have to climb heights, because I do have, I don't want to say fear, but I do have I do have a hesitation. But I've already been on a hot air balloon. I've already climbed, what was it, the Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa.
What else have I mean?
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, climbed all the way. So basically, she comes up with a destination and I'm like, okay, what does that entail? Camino was one that I was like, we're doing what? We're walking 78 miles. She was, yeah, that's a baby one. But, so
I picked the places that you would never imagine going by yourself. You don't need me for Cancun. You don't need us for Hawaii. We're not doing them. You're never going to see them. But you need us for an African safari. You need us to go to Machu Picchu. You need us to go, Morocco. We've been to Dubai. We haven't actually been to Europe since we did the Italy trip. Everything has been outside of Europe. We are planning to go back because we have a lot of beginning travelers who have never been to Europe. And they said, we want to go to Europe, but with you guys.
yeah,
Because you guys actually go on every single trip.
Yes.
we go on every single trip.
So this is not like a travel agency. This
No.
is like an intentional comadres. Like we're gonna go with you.
Absolutely.
We were just talking about the definition. So we're not travel agents, we're not travel advisors or travel consults. That's why we say we're travel besties, because we go with you. We tell you pack and just follow us.
I love that. The way that I feel about this Morocco trip is like peace.
Oh,
Everyone's
yeah.
like, what are you gonna do?
Yes.
I'm like, oh, it's already on there. I can share the itinerary with you. You should come.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it is.
So
How
we
do you
have
build out the itinerary? Like, That's a whole separate thing.
Oh, well, I put it together also. I mean, I consult with Anna, of course. Anna, what do you think we should do? We
But
should
you're
do
so
this.
intentional. Like, this is not just an itinerary. You're like, oh, I want to hit these hot
No.
spots. Like, you're intentional. The part that I'm most excited about is the women. Being able to cook with the women. Like, that's what I'm like, oh, I cannot wait until that moment.
I'm happy to hear that, because we really do want to give you an experience that's very unique. So
Yeah.
when we say we curate, we really do curate.
Yeah.
But we really focus on sustainability. So when we
Yeah.
people talk to us about sustainability, you know, we automatically think, oh, we're going to make sure that we use, you know, stuff that we can reuse, right? But that's not the sustainability that we're just focused on. Of course, yeah, there's all kinds of things that we can do to pack and make it, you know, more environmentally friendly. But the sustainability is in helping the local communities continue their culture and their practices and sharing. That's what the sustainability is for us.
Because that's the part about traveling that sometimes, as like a tourist, like I feel bad about, because
Feel guilty.
feel guilty, because I'm like, they're not living their culture to like live it. They're doing
Right.
it for money. They're
Right.
doing it for show.
Right.
And it literally like just makes my blood boil, because I'm like, this is part of colonization. Like I
Yes.
can't, I
Yeah.
don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. So the way that you built out your itinerary, it literally like made me emotional, because I'm like, this is the kind of travel that I want to do. It's not just like, oh, here I have a picture on a camel. Like,
Right. No.
I want to be with the women. I want to learn from them. I want to talk to them. I want to talk to locals and understand their culture from their point of view, not the curated,
Right.
tailored, profitable one. You
So
know?
we try always to hire locally.
Mm-hmm.
And then first is locally, second is women. So we are looking for women tour guides, women experiences, culture through the eyes of a woman. Like, what is it to be a Moroccan woman, a Cuban woman? What is it to be, you know?
Oh my God, chills.
Yeah.
And we want to show you what their day-to-day life looks like. That's why sometimes we get some calls that say, do you have any 4-day trips? And it's hard.
No,
You can't-
I don't even want that.
You can't do
How can we-
Give me the
international
full,
4 days.
give me a month.
Exactly. How can you do 4 days? It's really hard. First of all, by the time you get there, a whole
Yeah,
day's
they're
gone.
The travel, yeah,
Yeah.
this is travel part. You have to know 2 days of whatever it
Oh,
is.
man.
You can't count on that, because you're
Oh,
traveling
man.
and you're
It teaches you
tired.
patience.
You know, so
Girl.
if it's a 7-day trip, you're really traveling for 9.
Yeah.
But if you tell me you want a 4-day trip, what are you gonna do? Go and come back? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not.
No.
And El
But
Cam-
it's also like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
what's the
Like,
purpose? Yes.
What's the purpose?
And El Camino, have you heard of El Camino de Santiago?
No, I haven't.
So
I was
El-
going to ask about
Oh.
it.
El Camino de Santiago is a pilgrimage. It started 1,000 years ago, apparently,
Oh.
but the original one starts in the border of Spain and France, and it goes all the way to Compostela, which is the west coast of Spain. And people walk because St. James, according to the story, his remains are buried at this cathedral in Compostela. So people walk to find answers to life, to regroup with themselves, to just think about life, and if you're
Yeah.
looking for answers. But on the Camino, you meet people who are, you know,
From everywhere.
praying for their families. And so when I told Anna, I said, Anna, I think we should go to El Camino. She was like, oh my God.
Okay, but let me tell you why. We had just both had to go through a whole series of plantar fasciitis.
A what?
Plantar
Plantar
fasciitis.
Wait, what?
So she's telling me we're going to walk 78 miles. I'm like, do you understand that pain? I'm like, I just got rid of it. I'm like, you know. So
Wow.
that was the whole point. I mean,
You're like, mujer.
when we've talked about, you know, behind the scenes stuff, we can go for days. I mean,
I
there's
wish
so
somebody
many
would
things.
just follow us. And
Right.
So you could
That's
see.
a great idea for content.
Because they were like, I was in my
Putting it
bed.
in there.
I was, I was like, dude, we're going to go to El Camino. But so when I said, let's do it, let's put it out.
Yeah.
The first woman who called, she sent a message.
Oh my goodness.
And
okay,
she said,
here.
I want to go to El Camino, but I wanted to do it with my husband, but my husband died. And I have no identity.
Mm-hmm.
What? And I don't think I could do it by myself. I said, well, you're not going to be by yourself. You're going to be with us. That's what the whole Travel Bestie is all about. And she said, and when I get there, it's going to be my husband's birthday. And I said, well, then there's more of a reason for you to do it. And she
Yeah.
said, can I bring my husband's ashes so I can spread them on the Camino? I said,
Girl.
absolutely.
All I said is, I'm glad you got that call, because I would like that. That's how I was.
Right now.
I'm like, oh no, Eso, I'm like,
Because I don't believe in coincidences.
No,
That's
that's
not.
Yes.
No.
And she said, let me think about it. Let me talk to my children. I said, okay, you have any questions, give me a call. Sitting on my couch, watching TV, ding, deposit has been made. She booked it. Within 5 minutes, she booked it.
Wow.
And I felt like she had been waiting. She said, I've been wanting to go on this trip 18 years. But of course, life got in the way. She couldn't do it. Then her poor husband passed away. Now she was like stuck. She felt like, now I'm never going to do it. But I was like, yes, you can do it.
Wow.
So this trip has become a large community of women in Arizona. We've got women in Texas. We've got women in Georgia. And we're training together. We put it together, a training schedule. Everyone's training on their own path in their own areas. We check in on WhatsApp. How are you doing?
Wow.
Because
give recommendations. Look, I found these shoes. These shoes work really well. Like, it's really become a community. And that's what we wanted. We just didn't know how it was going to come, but it's coming on its own.
And how long have you had Two Peacocks Travel?
Since 2022.
Since
3 years.
2022. What's been the one trip that you're like, man, like the most life-changing, the most pivotal, or maybe a story from a woman that was part of your trip that just kind of gave you like a sense of, yeah, I'm on the right path?
I think for me, it was Morocco. Because I went on the first Morocco trip without Anna. I went with the clients. And we met our tour guide. And she's a young Moroccan woman who is Muslim, and she's divorced. And she told us her story. She said, I lived a horrible life with this horrible man who basically was very abusive. And I one day decided, no mas. I took off my hijab, and I cut my hair, and I started my own business. And this is why I'm here. This is what I do. I show people from around the world everything about my country. And it was like, this woman comes from a culture that's very... and they have a lot of rules and very culturally, and everybody has to do their part, and you can't go left or you can't go right. You got to stay right in the middle. And she decided, no mas, this is my life, and I'm going to live it how I want. And I just fell in love with her. She was just an amazing person. She is our tour guide that you're going to meet her. You're going to meet her.
I can't wait.
You're going to meet her.
She's young, she's vibrant, she's happy, she's a beautiful girl. And that was when I was like, you know what, we have to do it not just for the women who are Gen Xers, but what about the women after us?
We're trying to come. We got you.
Come. You hear that?
Yes.
Come.
Yeah.
It's okay. And it's okay to start young, to make plans, to say, once a year, I take a 12-day trip.
Oh, yeah.
That is a present to myself, so I can visit the world. So as we go on in this, peacock traveling world, we're picking places that are more and more exotic. Like I said, like the African safari. I said, Anna, I think we're going on African safari. She's like, oh, we are?
I just know that she has all the ideas. You're like, okay.
But you know what?
Okay,
when she told me that, I'm like, Lion King. I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm like, she goes, we're going to see the Great Migration. I'm like,
oh, that's cool.
That to me was like,
cool.
okay, I want to see that. That was like, okay, sold.
Just take all my money.
And just
I'll sign up for that one too.
I think, for me, it wasn't a particular trip. What I started to realize, I love to observe people.
Yeah.
And I kind of come up with my own trends and my own hypothesis of what people are thinking, right? But for me, the constant has been that every trip that we go to, when women land in this foreign destination, their faces. I love to see their reactions. Yeah. That they're now in Cuba, they're now in Peru, they're now in Guatemala. I turn around and I just look for those faces, right? And then we go to the actual places, the landmarks, and they're just like in awe. Yeah. That to me is the fulfillment.
That's my favorite part of any travel is landing at the airport.
Yeah.
Because it's the first instance where you're like, life is so different already.
Very
life
different.
Feels different.
Very different.
And it's like you're in awe.
Yeah.
And I want like that awe everywhere I go. And I bring it with me in like San Diego and when I'm in LA, New York. Like I'm like, I can have that awe.
Yes, you can have it
anywhere.
You can have it anywhere.
It's like life is so much bigger.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So much bigger.
100%.
Listen, we might be 54. Is that how we are?
Yeah, we're 54.
54.
Checks in with Ann. Is that how
old
we
are?
are?
I was checking. But I mentally, I'm 27.
Pues por eso creí que estaban jovencitas, because I'm like, you guys have such a beautiful energy, but
Oh,
that's
thank
what
you.
happens, I think, when you travel, when you see the
That's
world, when you're
true.
around women, when you have sisterhood. I have a question for you, and it's kind of random, but I think that you guys being in your 40s,
40-ish.
Wink, wink.
wink, wink, if you can take your younger self
Oh,
on a trip, where would you go and why?
well, I did take my trip.
Yeah, you were 15.
I was an exchange student when I was in high school.
Oh, you were.
I was my French teacher's favorite student, and she offered me when I was 15 to go abroad. And I went to tell my mom, and my mom was like, "No quieres quinceañera?" And I was like, "Hell no. I want to go to France." And I went.
Oh.
And so that changed my life. That's the trip that changed my life. And I always tell Anna, I don't know who I would be without that trip. That was the trip that changed my life.
If you
forever.
could go back, you being in your 50s, would you take that trip with her? Being in your 50s? Like if you were to like exist in two worlds at once?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, absolutely. I think, of course, it's been a long time. It was like 1986, I think it was when I went. It was a long time ago. But I still keep in touch with my family that hosted me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and I think that it changed my life. And like I always tell Anna, that's why it was so important to take the kids on this trip to Spain during COVID, because I wanted them to also feel how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they probably, I don't know that in that moment they understand that. Maybe
Yeah.
10 years from now they'll look back and be like, oh, you know. But we do see it in how they're living their life. Like Ryan always is game for picking up in history. There you go.
My son, my son.
Oh,
Okay.
I love history. It's the best part.
My son is
Okay, who gets kicked out of a museum because they're closing and he's still watching? It's,
Yeah.
it's
my
Ryan.
son.
You know,
I can relate.
and my daughter, I didn't realize that this was going to be like her way of launching herself, but she's 22 and she decided to move out of state and do her own thing without fear.
Wow.
And if she had fear, she sure didn't show it. But inside, yo me muero, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I instilled that to trust herself, right? So I can't be upset
look what
about
you
it.
created.
My husband's like, you see what you did? I'm like, I know, but that's what I wanted. I wanted
Oh,
them
I
to
love
have that because I didn't get that opportunity. And for me, I don't know that I have a specific country that I would want to go back to. What I would want is to put me in an airport, to know that I can go anywhere. That's what I would want to show my younger self. You
Wow.
can just go into an airport.
Just look at like
Just
the
look, where do you want to go? Got all these
boarding.
flights. Where do you want to go? I can go to Peru.
But you
I
want to
can,
look at the one that's inside the Delta Lounge, or do you want to see the one that's
well,
in the
you know,
entrance?
we're going to move in stages. So I had never walked into
Yo,
a
the
lounge.
lounges change your life.
The lounges, we're like, every country,
was
we're
like-
like, wait a minute, this lounge is not
Sucks.
up to my
Yo,
standards.
when I tell you, I took my parents into a lounge. The way that they were like,
Yes.
it was in Disney, and literally was like, oh, this is why I do everything.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
this moment right now, like
Yes.
oh my gosh.
My mom was
Seeing
like,
your-
Sandy, ¿me puedo llevar los sándwiches?
no,
Yes.
it is so cute, but
Yes.
it's like you deserve this.
No,
Like,
my
I'm
mom
gonna get
already told me.
emotional. Literally, they deserve it.
Oh, they do. My mom was like, ¿me puedo llevar los sándwiches? I'm like,
Yeah.
sí, mami, es todo es para que lo puedas consumir.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple
When
days
they love
later,
free stuff, they're like throwing
we
you
were
in
in
the back.
Italy, and when we go to Italy, we usually rent a house, apartment, and we go to the grocery store, anywhere in the world. We try to do that. And she was making huevitos and everything, and I said, ¿Y este jamón dónde salió? I didn't buy jamón, de los sándwiches que me traje. Wow. Okay, Vicky, thank you for that. Talk about resourceful, right? But they're
But
like,
let me tell you, you need
Listen, we never go
tapatio,
hungry.
you will not go hungry. You need tapatio, you need mayo, you need ketchup. Vicky has it.
my mom
All the
has
time.
bugs a whole bag of
Yeah.
condiments.
So we know we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go
Literally.
hungry.
Yeah.
Period.
But you're right. It's the whole experience that we
Yeah.
feel is like we want them to experience it.
Yeah, yeah. I want to ask you both and I'm thinking about my mom when I ask this question. For women that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s that think it's too late. Ya
Oh,
no
no.
es para mí. Like, I can't travel like I used to. What do you say to them?
No.
No,
It's
never too late.
absolutely. It's the best time for you to do it.
We had our oldest was 72,
72.
and let me tell you, she
72.
had the time of her life dancing
Oh,
and just being her.
love that.
That's the other fulfillment that we get. Sandy and I will sit back, and when they just start dancing and laughing and comadreando, and they're just being them, that's when we know we've just freed them.
Yes.
Ooh.
Even at 70, you know.
Even at 70.
The thing is that if you're physically okay to walk, if you want to meet other women, because the ranges are between 35 and 70. I mean, it's a huge range of
huge
women.
range.
But some of these women, like us, they're 72, but I think they feel like they're 50.
Yeah.
And they're ready to go, and they're ready to dance, and they're drinking, and they're having a good time. And it's sort of like liberating.
Yeah.
It's not too late. Too late for what? It's too late when you're dead. But if you're still alive and you're
think-
breathing,
Yeah.
you
just
need to do it.
Just do it. Just do it, because we fall into these roles, these expectations, and that's what we tell them. Take off all the hats. We don't want you coming in here with a title. Nothing. Just you. What do you want? Who do you want to be?
Well, that's when they say, "Can my husband come?" We're like, "No."
But
why?
in all fairness, though, we do have to say we tried.
Well,
We tried, but you know what they told us?
No.
No.
What do you mean?
When nobody called, we wanted to do the Oaxaca trip, like a couples trip.
Oh.
No.
The women's trip sold out.
The women's trip is all sold out. But the couples,
Wait.
yeah. First it was like,
Love
why
this.
aren't you doing couples? Okay, let's do couples. But nobody came. We had women say, no, but you know what? When my husband comes, it's not a bad thing, but it's just that I have to take care of somebody.
Yeah.
It's true.
Women just need community too. Women need each other.
Yes.
I had previously on the podcast, I had a menstrual coach, and she talked about how back in the day there used to be these things called red tents, and villages, like women when they were on their periods, they would be all in sync.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have their periods together. And women who were in their menopause stage, they would be there too, giving wisdom.
Oh, I love that.
And it was just like, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be with women. We're supposed to learn and be in community together. Red tents, right? Like we're supposed to have
Yes.
wisdom, and also like wisdom on both sides. Like there's
Yes.
things that you learn from the
Absolutely.
other
Yes.
side. We're supposed to be doing this. So you're doing something that ancestrally, traditionally, we've lost along the way. That's
I
been
love that.
colonized.
That's
That's been
beautiful.
taken away. So thank you for that.
No, thank you for
I
letting
know.
us know.
I know. We're just going. We're like, oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Period.
it just comes from us naturally. This is like
Yeah. Yeah.
who we're supposed to be. It is I don't know how to explain that feeling. You know, I thought when I got my career that I'm like, I made it, I did it. But that wasn't it. The story didn't end there. And now to be able to say like, my office, oh, that's the Delta plane, because we're all over the place. That's
And
our
you do this
office.
full time.
Yes.
all year long.
And you know, I think that as the women who come into our lives, they stay in
Yeah.
the group. That's what we call them, travel besties.
Yeah.
We have this luncheon once a year,
I'm part of it now.
the
I'm
travel
outing myself.
bestie
Yeah.
luncheon,
Yes.
and they all show up. And they're like, oh my God, are you going to go to Thailand too? Because I'm going to be there. No, I'm going to go to Morocco. Oh my God, you're going to go to Morocco? I'm signing up today. Okay, where are you going to be? They all, and we just sit back and we're like, oh my God.
Like,
And
we
we've
look what we
created.
created. But here's the other thing. Then we'll see on Instagram that they're all getting together to go to a concert. And we're like,
And they didn't invite us.
they didn't.
TFTI.
Hello. But it's funny because
I'm not there.
they didn't know each other prior to that trip.
Oh yeah.
So we know that we're building something.
Yeah.
We just, for us, it's just who we are. And then our personalities. I mean, you got Sandy that loves to dance, and she will dance at a drop of a hat at any moment, right? And I'm like, I love to dance, but that's not me. But
Yeah.
we complement ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And, like I said, we can communicate. I'll look at her from across the room, and she knows exactly what I'm thinking, vice versa,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, okay, take the wheel, go, take over,
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like how that came to be. My husband thinks it's the weirdest thing. He goes, how does Sandy know?
Because travel it brings out a whole different side
It's
of
a
you. It
different-
brings out all of your sides. Not to, we're romanticizing travel, which it should be, but travel be also bringing out the side of you that's not so cute.
Oh, because you got friends who can travel.
Ooh.
How about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've had my fair share of like, okay, we're not doing that again.
Yep.
But it makes you bond or it breaks you.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
that's okay.
beautiful.
That's
And
okay. You're kind of like, okay, this is on my journey. You stay on your journey. We're good.
I could talk to you two forever, and I'm excited for Morocco, excited to have that time with you all, and excited for those to sign up. But what's one part of the culture, and I always end with these two questions, what's one part of the culture, meaning Latinidad, that you are keeping with you forever, that you find as your superpower, that you're taking with you in every single step of the way? And what's one part of the culture that you're redefining, unlearning, or letting go of?
So, my grandmother came from El Salvador. She was the first one who came in 1969. And then my mom followed in 70, and then I was born in 71. We have never had traditional Thanksgiving dinner. my grandmother was very specific and intentional that our trip and our way to the United States was not to assimilate. It was to work. And one day we would go back. So that's one part of my Latinidad that I will never give up. We will continue to have panes con chumpe every single Thanksgiving. And my son says, what's going to happen when abuela passes away? Who's going to keep the tradition? And we're like, well, there's plenty of women in this family who can cook it. But I love that. I love that the women in my family were so strong. They were like, we don't care if we don't speak English. Our journey is not to become part of society in America. Although America was providing for them and was giving opportunities, but it was so important to keep our culture 100%. What was the next question?
And what's one part that you're letting go of?
Oh. You have to come back to me by that one. Go, Anna.
So for me, one part that I am letting go is that I don't have to be just one culture.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
Real.
Because, growing up, I had to be just one culture. Mm-hmm. And it was always, Mexican always seemed to be the one that won because I was in LA and, we didn't really get a lot of Spanish. When we got Spanish, it was when we went to Spain. But I feel alive when I go to Spain. When I step into Cordoba, I'm home. Like, it comes to me. Sandy laughs at me because my Spanish will change.
I don't know who she is.
She's like,
where did that come from?
¿Y ahora tú qué te pasa? I'm like, vale, no pasa nada.
No pasa nada.
No pasa nada. That's one thing that for me is I'm going to always know that I don't have to be just one. I can be multiple ones. Yeah. The keeping part, that one's a little bit more, it's not that it's challenging for me, but because I come from two different worlds and I live in a third one, it's me wanting to merge those traditions. People are surprised when I say that I didn't learn about Dia de los Muertos until my 20s. Even though my dad was from Oaxaca, I couldn't tell you what Oaxacan cuisine was until later in life because my parents did assimilate and we did do Thanksgiving, Easter, and like everything else. I never learned about Dia de los Muertos, los Dia de los Reyes, El Día de tu Santo. Like, that drives me nuts. I have aunts that say, Felicidades tu Día de Santo, and it's like in July, I'm like, ¿de qué me estás felicitando? Like, I don't understand.
Gracias.
Right? But now, for me, is trying to take and re-piece together those pieces to share that with my kids so that they know, because if not, it's going to get lost.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to keep, the traditions that I'm now learning. And now my mom will tell me, oh, yeah, we're going to do. I'm like, you didn't tell us that. She goes, but it was very different back then. We didn't want you guys to feel discriminated. We didn't want you guys, I went to school and I had peanut butter and jelly and ham and cheese with the tang and Fritos for 8 years straight because that's what we did. But back home, frijoles, paella, carne asada, it was two different worlds. So now I want to merge them and show my kids you can live in both worlds and you don't have to feel ashamed or discriminated or less than.
I thought about it. So I would stop apologizing for who I am. Being Salvadoran and Puerto Rican in a time when in a community where everybody was Mexican was very hard.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you look like that? Why is your hair so curly? Why do you eat bananas that are fried? Why is your booty big? And, especially in our careers, one time somebody made a comment to Anna, and we had high level positions, so we were running things. This guy told Anna that I was too Latina.
Whatever that means.
Well, and I laughed about it at the time because I really don't give a damn what anybody thinks about me or, my presence. But I do know that my presence at some time maybe made them feel intimidated, like they didn't know what to do with me because my hair is big and curly and and I walk into the room and ¿qué pasó? What are we doing? And it made people uncomfortable, and I'm not apologizing for that. Yeah. And I'm not going to be quiet, and I'm not going to sit in the back of the room.
Oh, period.
So one statement that I can tell you, Sandy and I both agree on that we want to destroy, calladita te ves más bonita.
Oh my God.
We are destroying
Deadly.
that.
Deadly.
And you know what's so funny is I look at my family and I'm like, none of these women are the calladita. None of them. They're loud. They run
Yes.
it. Honduran women? Are you kidding me? There's no calladitas in there. The calladitas are the guys.
Yeah.
They don't say nothing. So I'm like, I grew up around that. So let's like bury that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm burying it,
Oh, but
destroying it,
Destroying
burned
it, burning it, all of it. The last question I have for you, and by the way, both of your answers reminded me of this quote that I love. Legacy doesn't die unless you forget to pass it on.
Yes.
What's one thing you want to manifest for the Latino community?
Oh my God.
And we're gonna end on this question.
What do I want to manifest for the Latino community? I mean, there's so many things. I
I
don't even
know.
know where to start.
I
My
know.
God.
And there's power in your words, so whatever you manifest.
You know, I think Latino community is such a big realm, right? All I can really speak on behalf of Latina women is getting rid of fear.
Yeah.
This internal fear, and I don't know if it's been passed down, through DNA or generational, or we observed it, but this internal fear to step outside of the box, to say it's okay if we fail, it's okay not to be perfect. I think that our Latino community is bright. I mean, we're from all over. I mean, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world, right? Yet we're so timid and we're so afraid to speak our mind. And I think that we have to put fear aside and walk who we are, because in numbers we have so much power, and we need to unite and come together. You might eat bananas, you might eat nopales, you might eat tamales with the corn husk, and I eat mine with bananas, but we're the same people from different regions, and we need to really unite ourselves to be a stronger community.
And guess what? All those things that you just mentioned together,
Yes.
una delicia.
Exactly.
We can have nopales and plátano.
Exactly.
O sea.
Exactly.
So that's what I would want for the community, especially now when this political thing is like, you can act a certain way, you can hang around with a certain people, but the plátano on your forehead is a whole different story.
So this is the part where I tell her, and we tell each other this all the time, get out of my head,
Oh, okay.
because I was going along those routes. But
It's okay. Keep going.
for me, and it's going to be in the same realm, is to embrace ourselves, embrace who you are. I grew up being told that you had to speak the perfect Spanish. You had to read it. You had to speak it, and it had to be proper. And it doesn't have to be proper. Just embrace where you are, and then you continue to learn what you want to learn. And I say that because now that I have my kids, their Spanish is not fluent like mine is. And I realized that sometimes they hesitate to speak it because they're like, but you speak it's perfect. I said, yes, but my upbringing was different. I want you to embrace who you are, because you are still half Mexican, half Spanish. Now, they're more now watered down because their father's Mexican. So they're not 1/4 and 3/4 Mexican, right? Okay. But nonetheless, they eat all the Spanish food, the pan con chorizo, the bocadillos, the tortilla de papa, the paella, right? But then they can turn around and have the burrito, the taco, the carne asada, the nopales. I want them to just flip and not be okay, but it all starts with embracing yourself and who you are. So it's a little bit of what Sandy had said, but it's really accepting who you are. You don't have to be...
I love it.
You don't have to be in a box. Like, we destroyed the box.
Destroyed it.
It's
Buried
done.
it. And you can't have fearlessness without embracing who you are. I think you need both.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we're manifesting that. Cheers.
Yes.
Salud.
Salud. Salud.
Gracias. I don't have
Thank
anything to
you.
cheers with,
No.
but gracias. I
Gracias
didn't even
a
realize
ti.
this mic was all the way down here. I'm like enchufada. I didn't even realize this. Thank you both so
No,
much.
thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
us.
my
I'm
Thank you
goodness.
so
for sharing
happy.
your space with us.
Oh my God.